All right, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, man, we're back with another lesson. And this one's going to be titled, The Wicked Are Reserved for the Day of Destruction. All right, and the reason why I came up with this, the Spirit hit me to do this lesson, is because the elders were going into Cain being Esau, and it hit me, that, Cain got marked and wasn't allowed to be, touched or, or any vengeance upon him because the Lord had reserved, that spirit that was in Cain, which came back as Esau, okay, which we know that mark, okay, was that leprosy, all right, to come back with Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man, all right, for the day of destruction, the latter end, of these days that we're living in, okay? So, I'm going to jump around, for, in and out of Genesis and get some precepts, but it just hit me like, that's the reason why the Lord didn't allow Cain to get, served up. Okay, because the wicked are reserved for the day of destruction. Okay, the Lord reserved them for His vengeance. Okay, for the day of His second coming, right? So we're gonna start off right with the first book of John. Okay, chapter 3. We're gonna start at verse 11.
There's the book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we shall love one another.
You see that we should love one another. Why? Because the law, statutes, and commandments were given to us. And when we love one another, we fulfill that. Okay? We're not going to do the things, that a man like Esau or Cain did to his brother. Right?
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one. Okay? And when you go to Malachi chapter 1, okay, and verse 4, it tells you that Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. They're coined as the wicked. Okay, go ahead.
And slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
You see that? So this is the same thing as the story about the wicked and the righteous, right? Same thing as Esau, same thing as Jacob. Okay, understand that. So when Jacob took the blessing from Esau, what did Esau say? Right, that when Isaac passed away, he was going to slay his brother. All right, out of envy. Okay, and it was ordained that way. Okay, because remember, before they were born, it said the elder shall serve the younger. So this is the way that the Lord ordained it. Okay, and it was no different. Okay, the Lord favored Abel, which represents Jacob. Okay. And he didn't like the works of Cain, okay, which is that wicked one, all right? He had that same spirit that came from the garden, that serpent, right? That wicked serpent, all right? So as I said, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, right? And we know that the wicked is Esau, okay? So when we go to the book of Genesis, chapter 4, we're going to begin at verse 8.
There's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother.
And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. Okay, and this was after they, put up that sacrifice for Yahweh, which, Cain's wasn't accepted because he didn't give up a righteous sacrifice, and Abel put up a righteous sacrifice which pleased the Lord. All right, so Cain was wroth, right? Because of his jealousy.
And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
You see that? And slew him, okay? Because why? He's of that wicked one. Like I said in 1 John chapter 3, verse 11 and 12, okay? Cain is of that wicked one. He slew his brother over envy, all right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
You see that? And this man is a liar. All right? You see? This man is wicked. All right? Go ahead.
And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
You see that? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Okay? Now, there's a penalty for that. Okay? The blood is crying from the ground. So the you know, and the laws were oral back then. Okay? So understand that just because the Lord did not bring justice to Cain right then and there, all right, it was going to be required of him sooner or later, all right? But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's go to the book of Numbers, right? Let's go to the book, Salakia. Let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33.
There's the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
You see that? And so as Cain did, Esau did, okay? Especially here in the soils of America, right? That's why the Lord is going to require the blood of Esau, Edom, which was Cain, all right? Which is Cain in the reincarnation, all right? And remember, it all started with Abel, okay? The blood of Abel was crying from the ground to the Lord, okay? It was crying from the ground to the Lord, okay? So guess what? The Lord is going to require the blood of Cain, all right? But he had reserved them. And that's why he had to come back as Esau, all right? To play out being that wicked, all right? To be reserved for that day of destruction. He came back with that mark, okay? If you understand that mark, it's in Genesis chapter 25, verse 25, all right? For Esau was red all over like a hairy garment, okay? He ain't have no melanin, all right? His blood was showing forth, okay? That's he was leprous, okay? Which is sin, okay? So at the end of the day, he came back with that mark that Cain had, right? So it says here again, ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land. So Cain defiled, right, the land that he was on with the blood of his brother, right? And it said, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, okay? So that's going to be required of Cain, okay? But now he came back as Esau, all right, the Edomites, you see? And let's prove that right now. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, okay? Let's go to chapter 35. And let's start at verse 1.
There's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying.
See, this is the word of the Lord, right? Coming to Ezekiel the prophet, okay? What does it say?
Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it.
Prophesy against it, right? And Mount Seir, right? It's a people before it's a place. Okay, so right now, America is also Mount Seir, okay? Where the Edomites rule, right? That high mountain, meaning, you know, the highest government, right? It controls everything on the earth right now. Go ahead.
Son of man, I like you.
Says, all right, read it over. Go ahead.
Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it.
You see that? Prophesy against it, okay? So these are future events that are going to happen, all right? Why? Go ahead.
And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
I am against thee. Go ahead.
And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate.
You see that? And thou shalt be desolate. That's that destruction that's coming to the wicked, Esau, right? Why? Because he was reserved since Cain.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
See that? You have had a perpetual hatred. This hatred was from the beginning. Okay, like I said, Abel represents Jacob, okay, in the reincarnation. Okay? Jacob is Abel, all right? And Esau, which was Cain, all right? Cain slew Abel, all right? And he did the same thing in this lifetime, all right? Go ahead.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
In the time where their iniquity had an end. You see that? But you extended, right? You extended that affliction, okay?
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood.
I will prepare thee unto blood. You see, you being prepared, okay? You're being prepared. It's like setting a table. I'm preparing a table because it's reserved, all right? That table's reserved for somebody. So I'm going to prepare it, but nobody else can sit in on it, right? It's only going to be for that person that reserved it, okay? So the Lord is preparing thee, okay, unto blood, right? Because the Lord has reserved you for that day of destruction, you see?
And blood shall pursue thee, so that thou hast not hated blood. Even blood shall pursue thee.
You see that? Even blood shall pursue thee, okay? Understand? Even blood shall pursue thee. Why? Because since the beginning, the blood of Abel was crying out unto the Lord, all right? And Cain has not paid for that, all right? And he did it in this lifetime again with the children of Israel, okay? Which Jacob is, like I said, the reincarnation of Abel, all right? That's why the wicked are reserved for the day of destruction. And you're going to understand after a few more precepts, right? We're going to go back now to the book of Genesis, chapter 4, and continue on in verse 11.
There's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth.
And now art thou cursed from the earth. Go ahead.
Which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
You see that? And now art thou cursed from the earth. Okay? Now, let's go to the book real quick of Isaiah. All right? And let's go to chapter 34. All right? And let's start at verse 5.
There's a book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Upon Idumea. And Idumea is the Greek way of saying Esau, Edom, right? Red, right? Idumea, that's Edom, all right? The so-called white man, right? Go ahead.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
You see that? Upon the people of my curse to judgment. This is a future event. It has not happened yet, right? Right? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, okay? Remember, the Lord is going to have the nukes coming down on Esau. The chariots is going to be blazing at Esau, okay? From all directions, man. All right? And this is the people of his curse to judgment. All right? But what did he tell Cain? Now thou art cursed. Right? Thou art cursed. You see? This is how we know that Cain is Esau. All right? Go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. All right? And remember, the scripture says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Okay? So this is what's coming. Go ahead.
It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats.
You see that? With the people. Okay? That's that sacrifice that is going to talk about.
With the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra.
For the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. Okay? Which was the capital of Esau, Edom. Okay? Which is what? America. Go ahead.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, okay, for Esau, all right? See that? So his military, right? The citizens, all those that are found with him shall be thrust through, okay? There's going to be a great sacrifice coming here, right? For the wicked, okay? Because these people have not paid since Cain for everything they've done, okay? That's why the wicked are reserved for the day of destruction, right? And what did it say up there? It said, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Matter of fact, let's get Proverbs real quick. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 33.
There's a book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
You see that? The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. Now, Cain was coined as the wicked, right? In 1 John chapter 3, verse 12. All right? And he got cursed, right? In Genesis chapter 4, verse 11. Okay? So you see that? The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. Go ahead.
But he blessed the habitation of the just.
Which that's going to be Jacob, right? The elect on this side. Okay? So the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, which was Cain, which is today is Esau, Edom. Okay? And that's why the wicked are going to be reserved, and they are reserved for the day of destruction. All right? Now, let's go to the book of Genesis. Let's go back to book of Genesis. Hey, let's go back to the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 12. Go ahead.
There's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
Go ahead.
And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
My punishment is greater than I can bear. Why?
Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me.
See that? Everyone that findeth him shall slay me. And what did the Lord do?
And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
You see that? So the Lord commanded for no one to touch Cain. Right? Go ahead.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
You see that? So he set that mark, right? That leprous mark, which we know that Esau came back without that melanin. You know, that same mark as Cain, man. You know, so what did the Lord do with that mark? That was him reserving him. All right? He put that label on him. That's like reserving a table, like I said. All right? If the Lord is going to sit on that table's going to have that label that says the Lord's, you know? Ain't nobody else could touch that. Okay? Because the Lord reserved them for the day of destruction. For what he did to what? To Abel. All right? And for what Esau did to the children of Israel. Okay? That was the whole point. The wicked are reserved for the day of destruction, which we know that wickedness started in the garden, but it hopped on Cain and came back with Esau, right? So we're gonna finish this off, right? With the book of Job, chapter 21, and we're gonna go to verse 29.
There's the book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 29. Have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath.
You see that? And whose wrath is that going to be? The wrath of the Lord. Okay? That indignation that he had with Esau forever. Okay? And that indignation started with Cain. That's why he marked them. He reserved them for that day of destruction. You know? So, you know, you see it's plain for those that have the eyes to see. Okay, and this is a stumbling block, you know, for those that are still following that, you know, BS Christianity, man. All right? So, you know, Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, we're going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Abar Babal.
Babal.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kum Yeshua.
Shalom.
Shalom.